Yesterday, we revisited some of Fortnite's best augments, and an overwhelming majority of you asked me to revisit some of Fortnite's worst augments, and that is exactly what we're going to do today. We are going to go back to Chapter 4 and take a look at some of those augments that just should have never existed in the first place, and I doubt anybody pressed them. If you saw these, just spend the 100, 200 gold to reroll. With that being said, guys, if you're going to enjoy this video, be sure to leave me a like. Use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop if you would like to support the videos that I make here on YouTube. And yeah, let's just get right into this thing. Firstly, we gotta talk about an augment that I did not expect to be on here, and that's Sniper Striker. Any viewers of this channel most likely know that I am a sniper fan. I love snipers, and the heavy sniper and hunter bolt action are some of my favorite weapons of all time. So trust me when I say this, it really hurts for me to put a sniper augment on this list, but it's gotta be done. This augment gave you Siphon every single time you hit somebody with a sniper rifle, and you can already see why this is a problem, right? I mean, how many times do you hit somebody with a sniper rifle in a game? 5, 10 maybe, if you're really good, 15 even? I even think that's a stretch, and so you might be thinking, okay, like you don't hit that many times, but maybe the Siphon's really good, right? If it gives you 50 health or shield per shot, then you're thinking, okay, like maybe we can make this work, right? To my knowledge, if my research is correct, this thing gave you 13 health or shield back per body shot and 30 health or shield back per headshot. I mean, 13 is crazy. That does nothing for you realistically. There are just so many better augments out there than, like, why would you ever take this? I understand that this augment doesn't ever really hurt you in a way, which I can't say for some of the other augments we'll see on this list, but there are just so many better augments out there, and this is a skip every single time for me. Next, we gotta talk about what I believe to be the worst augment of all time, that is Wild Wasp weaponry. And first of all, I mean, who forgot that Wild Wasp jars even existed? Because I'm raising my hand right now, I absolutely did. And that's because they were extremely forgettable. Wild Wasp jars are probably one of the worst items to ever be added into Fortnite, of course being added in Chapter 4 Season 3, also coincidentally one of the worst seasons of all time. And this augment essentially made it so that you would just get a couple Wild Wasp jars when you popped it, and then you would gain an additional 1 jar every time you eliminated a player. It's a good idea, and I could see this being useful with something else or another item, but since Wild Wasp jars were so bad, it made this augment essentially useless. There is no reason to ever take this augment. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because it's just that bad. I don't have anything to say about it. Every single other augment in the game is better than this one. Moving on from Wild Wasp weaponry, let's talk about the Treasure Hunter augment. And this is an interesting one, and I think it's going to be a little controversial between you guys in the comment section because this augment doesn't actually come off as that bad. Remember, it's a looting augment, so it's supposed to make looting easier and help you loot, which everyone loves. But this is an example of an augment that I just don't think ever needed to happen. This augment would mark nearby chests the first time that you would enter a point of interest or just any named location, really. And it's just like, what is the need for this? I don't know how else to put it. I mean, when you go into another POI other than the spot that you landed, right? Let's just put it into perspective here. You drop a spot, you loot up the whole place, then you get your first augment and you press Treasure Hunter, right? So now you're gonna go booking it to another POI, which, let's be honest, is probably already looted because other people landed there, just to reveal a bunch of chests that are scattered across the POI if they're not even looted already. If you play the game a good amount anyways, you're gonna know the majority of the chest spawns just from being at each POI for a good amount of time and just getting repetition, right? Playing the game a lot. I just don't see this augment being useful at all. I never used it, and that's why it gets its spot on this list. The only time I could potentially see this augment getting any use is if you're brand new to the map. It's literally like your first week dropping into the map and you want to learn where the chest spawns are for the POIs. Great, pop this and you'll know where every single chest is, but past that, not useful at all. And to hopefully nobody's surprise, we are going back to Chapter 4 Season 3 and talking about the Primal Companion augment. I am really sorry if you are a fan of Chapter 4 Season 3 because you guys are kind of taking a beating in this video. But I mean, let's be honest here, would anybody ever use this augment? And it's kind of interesting actually actually, because there always is a little group of people that I've seen defending the Primal Companion augment that absolutely love this thing. And this augment basically makes it so that you gain thermal vision and regenerate health while riding animals. And just go back to chapter 4 season 3 for a second. In your head, how many times would you ever ride an animal? How many times would you ever hop on the back of a dinosaur or a boar or something like that? The only time I would ever do that would be to rotate from zone. That is it. To me, you would only use this augment for the regenerative health abilities, right? Let's just say you're kind of in a panic, you can't find bandages, can't find med kits, just hop on the back of an animal and get your white heals. There, I could see it being useful, but gaining the thermal vision, I mean, does that really matter? Does anyone really care about the thermal vision? To me, not at all. I guess like maybe in the dense jungle it would kind of be helpful, but honestly, I don't think I ever used this augment. Like, this is one of the augments that I have never ever used one time, which is really saying something because I play a lot of Fortnite and I use a lot of augments. And we seriously have to talk about the dumpster diving augment, and I hate to put it here because I think it's actually a great idea, but oh my god, the loot that you get from this is atrocious. And the way that this augment would work is, if you guys remember around the chapter 4 map, there were like the dumpsters that you could hold X, I guess if you're on Xbox, to interact with and like jump and hide in, right? So when you would come out of those, it would drop like some loot on the ground next to you. And there are really two huge glaring problems with this. For one, the loot was absolutely awful. You would jump into a dumpster and come out and like some medium bullets and shotgun shells and like some minis would come out. It's basically just like you're opening a supply box, like an ammo box. I mean, the loot was truly terrible, and I think you'll see it in the gameplay here why nobody used this augment. And secondly, to my knowledge, you could only jump in one dumpster one time, right? If that makes sense. So you jump in the dumpster, you hop out of it, you get your loot. You can't keep doing that for the same dumpster, right? You have to go find a whole new dumpster, redo it just to get like a bunch of medium bullets and like maybe a green rarity weapon or something like that. There's really no need for this unless like maybe you're in a total pinch and you just need some bullets or you need a gun real quickly and there's a dumpster right next to you. But like, how often does that happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, just take a better augment. Next up, we have an OG augment from the first season of chapter 4. That is Jelly Angler. And this is honestly a really weird augment. When you would use this augment, all it would do is it would just drop you a fishing rod, and you can use that fishing rod anywhere on the map just like you normally would, but you can only fish jellyfish. I mean, seriously, like, who at Epic Games is coming up with these ideas? Like, who would want to catch only jellyfish? Jellyfish aren't even the best fish by a mile. I would much rather have a shield fish than a jellyfish. This is honestly close to being the worst augment ever, and it actually has a weird history. I mean, I don't remember the exact details, but I feel like it was disabled for a little bit, and then it like came back, but like different. I don't know. Honestly, if you see this icon come up, just, you're better off spending the 200 gold, re-roll that, because this thing is useless. And the final augment on this list, we have Rifle Recycle. This is another really interesting augment. Essentially, all it does is weapons that use medium ammo have a chance not to consume ammo. So all that means is that there is a 20% chance that the ammo counter when you shoot will not decrease on each shot. So basically that means if you have a 30 round mag, by statistics, by probability, you are likely to save, I don't know, was that 5 bullets? 6 bullets, something like that. You get what I'm saying. So essentially you can shoot, let's say 35 bullets, 36 bullets in a row without reloading, which you might say, yeah, like that sounds good. But I think the point of this augment is more so to save ammo than it is to be firing off more shots in a row, if that makes sense. I don't know, like, this is one of those augments that doesn't feel terrible, but just falls to the bottom because of how many better augments there are. Like, if you have the opportunity to gain 150 health and shield by sitting in a bush, or saving 5 or 6 medium bullets per magazine, what are you taking? Like, we all know the answer. Or if you have the opportunity to gain a mechanical shockwave bow, or use a different augment and gain a combat shotgun and a red dot tactical AR, like, you're just gonna take everything over this, really. And simply 5 or 6 medium bullets, saving those, that does not really move the needle for me. This is another example of one of those augments that was an auto skip for me, and I think for a lot of other players, and I think it deserves to be here. And that's it, guys. Got some spicy takes in here. You guys know I always make sure to speak my mind, get those spicy takes in there, and you guys love to argue with me in the comment section below, so go down there right now. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Did you like the list? Do you think there were any that I was missing? Let me know, because there are like 80, 90 augments, so I definitely could have missed a couple. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.